my cancer story, 20 years ago, today. 20 years ago, August 5th, 1999. This day was not a good day whatsoever for me in the hospital. One thing about having cancer and having a treatment that's, I would say, challenging on you is you never know when your bottom is going to be. And you always think, this is the worst it's going to get, right? And I thought that just a few days prior, but here I was waking up in my hospital room feeling worse than ever, weak and exhausted. And I was laying on my side thinking, okay, no one is with me right now, and I need to sit up so I can get water. Water is at the end of my bed on that little tray table. I can do this. I can sit up and I can get myself water. I sat up and I couldn't get myself water because there was no water there. It was empty. And so I pressed the call button and the nurses don't respond. And the nurses I had were amazing and always responded right away. So I waited a little bit and no nurses responded again. No one was with me in the room, which is actually really rare. Oftentimes my family, the first round of chemotherapy I had, was with me pretty much all the time. But they probably left the room because I had been sleeping most of the afternoon and I had migraine and I just wasn't feeling well. So then I look at the door and I say, can I get up and walk to the door so I can peek my head out and try to get a nurse because I am so thirsty, but I'm so weak, I don't know if I can walk to the door. I decided I'm going to walk to the door. I'm going to walk to the door and peek my head out. And I do, and the hallway is empty. No one can see me. I try calling a little bit, but I can't talk very well because I was starting to get mouth sores. And I was so disheartened. The nurse's station was actually outside of my hallway. We had these specialized hallways. All the rooms were under a HEPA filter to filter the air because that could have caused infections for people in my area who had leukemia or lymphoma. The type of cancer treatment that we were undergoing dropped our levels so low that even airborne, what is usually in the air, could have caused us to get an infection and cause complications. And I look down the hallway and I think, I cannot walk down to the end of the hallway. There's no way. It's on the opposite end, and it wasn't very far, but in the state I was in where I was even contemplating getting up out of my bed and walking to the door, I just knew I couldn't do it. So I went back and I laid in bed and I just had to wait. I waited until my family came back in and they asked me what was wrong. I think I was crying at that time because I was just so, I can't even explain. I was so disheartened, so sad that I couldn't even walk a little bit further to ask for water, that I needed help to do that. They called the nurse. She came right away. Well, they actually had to go get the nurse because where the call button was, it wasn't plugged in properly. For some reason, it got disconnected. Got my water, and that I thought was my lowest point in the hospital, and it wasn't. I still would have complications that I didn't even know were brewing in my body. Today, August 5th, 2019. Comparing today to 20 years ago is obviously so much different. And when we're in a state where we don't feel well, and many of you can probably relate, even if you've never had cancer, but if you don't feel well because maybe you got the stomach flu, or you're sick, or you got injured, to come back from that injury or from not feeling well to where we want to be, our ideal, healthy, and happy lives, it's a journey sometimes. It takes time. And so we just want to honor where we are right now, take that slow progression. What do we need each and every day? And that may be different than where we were a week ago or even yesterday. I'm about to go take a run right now, and people oftentimes ask me, what do you do besides Pilates? And my cardiovascular work really does vary. Right now, I've been trying to be a little bit more consistent with running. Running is not my go-to form of exercise, but I do think that cardiovascular work is a great complement to Pilates and vice versa. Pilates is a great complement to cardiovascular workouts. And so I've been trying to be really consistent with running. I usually do this this during my workday, but lo and behold, the showers were closed today, and you do not want to see me after a run if I have not taken a shower. So I decided that I needed just to be adaptable and run once I got home from work. I totally wasn't planning on filming this part, but as I was running, I was feeling so good about my pace. I felt so much better, partially because I'm running in the evening rather than at 11:30 when it's 90 degrees outside. But I was like, yeah, my pace is awesome. And then someone passes me and I'm like, they're going pretty slow. And it was at this, wait, if they're going pretty slow, I'm going slower. But I stopped there. It's like, I'm not going to compare myself to the pace that someone else is running. And I see this so often in fitness or in wellness. We compare ourselves to where we used to be. We compare ourselves to other people. We really just want to be right where we are. So for the rest of the run, I just kept celebrating that, one, I get a run, and two, my pace is better than it was when I first started. And I don't know if I can swear in this channel or not, but my thought was, F that. Like, I'm just gonna celebrate my success, that I'm showing up for myself consistently. So just keep coming back to what works for you each and every day. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. And like, share, and leave me a comment.